The Mariners literally have the best rotation start to finish. And you're the man, dude. You're in charge of that rotation. And obviously the pitching staff. Do you ever sit back and kind of just think, hey, man, I'm killing it?
No, I sit back and am extremely grateful that I get a front row seat to it every day.
How we going, mates? Welcome to the Top Step, proudly brought to you by Warrior Injury Law. If you're injured, call attorney Rob Evans at 253 Warrior. Battle tested. My name is Rowland-Smith. We have got a great episode for you. Pete Woodworth, the Mariners pitching coach, the pitching coach of arguably, or literally, the best pitching staff in Major League Baseball in 2024. He's going to join me in person down at the ballpark right after the break. So we've got a lot to get to. Before we do, make sure you go subscribe over at YouTube so you can catch all the past episodes from last year and the first two with Logan Gilbert and the fellas down the bullpen having some fun, or go to social media at the Top Step TV. All right, let's get into it. It is time for Eyes on the M's, brought to you by my friends at King LASIK. Hey, mates, if you're ready for freedom of hassling with glasses and contacts, do what I did. Go to King LASIK. It was the best decision I ever made for my eyes. The procedure was easy and it was over in just 15 minutes. Dr. King has done more procedures than anyone in North America. You can trust him with your eyes. Now, for a limited time, get 0% financing and save $1,000 off LASIK from Dr. King. It's never been more affordable. Start with a free consult at kinglasik.com. Okay, what I've got my eyes on this week is Julio Rodríguez. We all know when the offense gets going, a lot of the time it's because what Julio's doing. Remember what he did last September? It was pretty eye-popping. What's he doing at the beginning of this year? When you look at the numbers, as I'm reading this, averages sub 200, OPS just under 800, not too bad. Slugging, a little slower, 463. Remember last year, he had a bit of a down year for the most part. Then all of a sudden, he came out in the month of September. What did he do in the month of September, people? Only hit 328, 7 bombs, 895 OPS, slugged 546. Okay, the 7 home runs and the slugging and the OPS, that's what I'm looking at, because remember, he was in the teens all the way through the month of August. So when you go a little bit beyond the numbers, and this is what I'm looking at for Julio Rodríguez, you look at the average, you're thinking to yourself, look, it's sub 200. Swing and miss is still up a little bit. But this is what I'm really going to focus in on, okay? So this year, slugging 463, OPS 790. We've already talked about that. But let's look at some trends beyond the numbers. Let's look at the exit velo. Last year, the exit velo was average 94. This year, it's about 93.5 as we speak today, as we're heading to the middle of April. That's a great sign. You want that hard hit. Speaking of the hard hit rate, 54% last September. Guess what it is in 2025? 53.6. He's just a tick behind the hard hit rate. And again, as we talk through these numbers, remember, Julio, he's so athletic, and this is a great trend. If he can get off to this kind of start, all the numbers are going to just go with it. And, of course, the offense. What about the chase rate? In September, it was 41%. Guess what? This year, 31%. I think Edgar's, we talk about the influence, we talk about the approach. He's just more comfortable. He's not going to chase. He's not going to get white-knuckled and try and do too much. What about hitting to all fields? This year, when you're talking hitting the straightaway to right field, I know he's at his best when he's hitting absolute moonshots to straightaway left field, yanking the ball. I get it. But when he can cover all fields, he can't pitch him certain ways. This year, he's hitting 64% to either straight back up the middle, or to right field. Guess what he did in September? Hit 64%. So no holes there. This is a big one for me, this next one. The ground ball rate. The one thing with Julio was like, get the ball off the ground in 2024. Well, guess what? He's getting the ball in the air, people. 32% in September. And you guessed it, 32% this year. All these numbers are trending in the right direction. Some of the results, the home runs are there. It took him 23 days to get into the home run column last year. He's already hit 3 as we speak today. But I'm trying to compare some of these numbers to what we saw in September. The only difference I'm looking at is some of the swing and miss. The chase rate, I love that. The fact the chase rate's a little bit better. The strikeout rate in September, 21.6. This year it's 27. A little high, but that's all right. And again, of course, we talk about the swing and miss rate. It's a little high too. 29.4% last year. Well, it's up over 40% this year. So some of those things, I get it. I think the strikeout numbers are going to go down once he just relaxes and gets in the swing of things. The one other number two, you're talking about this year, September, did he walk? No, he didn't. The approach has been so much better. 3.2% walk rate in September. You betcha this year, 10.4%. I love that. Again, that's trending Julio in the right direction and giving me some thought for hope here when you're talking about Julio Rodríguez for what we can expect for the next 6 months. If he can do close to what he did in September, and we just went through some of the numbers behind the numbers, man, he's going to have a killer year in 2025. That segment, Eyes on the M's, was brought to you by King LASIK. When we get back, I've got the man, Pete Woodworth. I love talking to this guy. He breaks it down, what he sees from this rotation, and what makes them so good. Stick around. We'll be right back.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Cindy, who was T-boned by a truck.
I was stopped in a left turn lane. A big black truck slammed into my left side. I called Warrior Injury Law, and I was very pleased. They really do care about you, and they care about your situation. I knew that I could trust Rob. He cares about his clients. He's tops.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested. Eddie's!
I'm with the president, Don Riling. You do this every year. You team up, with a certain charity. This time it's for Alliance for Education. Tell us more about it.
We focus on a charity that's tied to military, first responders, or public school teachers. So this year we chose Alliance for Education. They do terrific work with the Seattle public school system. During the month of April, we donate a portion of every hot tub, swim, spa, and sauna that we sell and give it to the charity.
See life better with perfect, clear, natural vision from King LASIK.
Being a former professional athlete, I still love staying active. From paddleboarding, snowboarding, even playing with the kids, everything was such a hassle dealing with glasses and contacts. I'm so grateful to Dr. King and King LASIK. It's amazing how much better I see life.
I'm Dr. Joseph King. Let's free your eyes from the hassle of glasses and dirty contacts.
Schedule your free consult at kinglasik.com. King LASIK. See life better.
Welcome back to the Top Step. It's now time for the San Juan Seltzer interview. We're down at the ballpark with none other, Pete Woodworth. Pete, welcome.
Glad to be here.
We're rolling into 2025, right? This offseason, a couple things went down. Number one, all anyone talks about after 2024 and after the last couple of years, the Mariners literally have the best rotation start to finish. And you're the man, dude. You're in charge of that rotation. And obviously the pitching staff. Do you ever sit back and kind of just think, hey, man, I'm killing it?
No, I sit back and am extremely grateful that I get a front row seat to it every day. And surrounded by awesome people. Trent Blank, Tony Arnerich, our bullpen coach, our bullpen catchers are phenomenal. We have a lot of fun getting to, again, just have a front row seat to watch those guys, not just compete in the game, but develop in between starts.
But what is it, though, in regards to this rotation? There is so much talent across Major League Baseball. There's so much talent in AA, in AAA. And before this, group of five or even six, counting Emerson Hancock and George Kirby, who starts here in the IL. But even when you were coming up through the minor leagues as a pitching coach, you'd always hear your name. Oh, yeah, well, look, I'd gotten to this place, or I'd worked on this, or, hey, what got me over this hump was Woody, man, Pete Woodworth. I kept hearing your name before you even got here. And then when you got here, it's like it wasn't this situation where it was like you were just a babysitter. You were sitting here kind of, oh, well, these guys are good. There's so much that happens behind the scenes. So if you can pat yourself on the back, and I know you're going to try and deflect this attention, but what separates you from other pitching coaches, or what is it that you try and do with these guys to get them to a certain level? Because it's not easy, man. There's so much talent in AA, and guys just never get to the big leagues. They never figure it out mentally, physically. What is it?
That's a tough one to answer because I don't know what other pitching coaches do.
Right.
And it's kind of something I struggled with in the minor leagues was I didn't know what other guys did, what it looked like. You just had to find your own identity, your own niche, your own way of communicating. You're on your little island in Modesto or Little Rock or wherever you're at. you got your 13 guys, and you have to figure out who you are as a pitching coach to help those guys. So it's tough to answer because I don't know how Mike Maddox does it. I don't know how Mel Stoudemire, I know how I do it, and I don't know if it's the right way.
Right.
But it's worked for now.
When you went from that to get into the big leagues, and obviously it's the big leagues, everything changes, right? The game's wins and losses count, man. Guys' performance, essentially your job's on the line. If you don't perform as a coach, it's so cutthroat, man. As a manager, as a pitching coach, and I had 6 different managers in a short span. I had multiple pitching coaches, all with different styles, and I picked and chose things I liked. With the relationship with this one, I could open up to this one. I had to be careful what I said to this one. But when you got to the big leagues, was it a huge adjustment? there had to be nerves too. That opening day when you're rocking up, we just had opening day recently. If you can think back to that first year.
Luckily, my first year, there was nobody in the stands.
That's true, 2020.
It was a really strange year, but I'm grateful for it because I was 26, 28. I don't know. I was 30. I was young.
Yeah.
And even with nobody in the stands in Houston, I was nervous as I've ever been. So it was a good. It wasn't a practice year; those were real games. But it was good for me and some of our other coaches just to get that experience without having 45,000 people, without having extra distractions and pressures.
That first run out to the mound, telling someone who's scuffling in the 5th, 6th inning. Do you remember your first ever time running out to the mound, or what?
No.
Was it don't trip or say the right things? Or what was it?
Don't trip. I don't remember the first one. I remember a really bad one in Yankee Stadium with Paul Sewald and Tom Murphy. I gave him some analogy of fighting a bear and being bigger than a bear, or cowering and pretending to be dead, and bases were loaded or 2 guys on, and it was Judge, Stanton, Joey Gallo, all 6'8", 300-pound bears coming up, and sure enough, Joey Gallo hit a 3-run homer into the New York skyline.
Are you a big analogy guy? You walk out there and try and give him something a little
Not
deeper?
After that.
Really?
That was the last one.
How was that received? After that, we're Sewald's pretty easy going.
Yeah, we joked around about it since then.
All right.
But Tom Murphy did go, that's probably the last time you talk about bears on the mound.
I like it. Nice. All right, welcome back to the Top Step. This segment is brought to you by Olympic Hot Tub. And guess what? This month, a portion of every hot tub or swim spa and sauna purchased at Olympic Hot Tub will be donated to Alliance for Education. Don, you are the man, the owner of the Olympic Hot Tub. This wonderful charity develops programs to increase equity for students and teachers. It's the perfect time to improve your own health and wellness, just like I did, while supporting kids and schools in our community. Learn more at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life. All right, let's get back down to the ballpark and get back to Pete Woodworth. What is that philosophy? What separates the Seattle Mariners, this rotation in the big leagues, and then that trickles down through the minor leagues to any other team?
I even made the mistake of thinking that the big leagues was more complicated than it needed to be.
Right.
And guys were more savant than the AA, AAA guys. They were smarter. They were more intelligent. And every guy's the same.
Yeah.
And so the idea that once you get to the big leagues, you have to be able to do all this complex stuff isn't true. It's actually who can do the simplest tasks the most consistent are the guys who are really good in this game. When you're at the big league level, everybody has stuff. Mm-hmm. You can't get there without stuff. So the talent level's pretty even. Mm-hmm. It's who can consistently execute. Skubal didn't get the Cy Young because he has better stuff than the other 349 start pitchers in the league.
Yeah.
He got it because he executed 3 more sliders than Logan did last year per game.
Yeah.
And
is it, okay, you have to be able to execute. And I'm about to dive into something in regards to the way you sort of interact with a minor leaguer who you're trying to push to get to the next level. Is it something where it's all right, you have this really good secondary pitch. It's good enough. Let's not try and overstuff this pitch. let's figure out a way. How can you consistently get that in the strike zone? Is it pitch number 2, pitch number 3, where you can have a repertoire? Because I remember when I got to the big league, it's like, hey man, you have to throw 4 pitches for a strike, especially my stuff too. I didn't have like, you know,
You weren't that bad.
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have like that one out pitch.
Yeah.
Is it more to do with, all right, pitch number 2, pitch number 3, let's figure out a way to get this in the strike zone consistently?
Depends on the guy.
Okay.
I think the guys that are in our rotation, we're fortunate to have like a carrying pitch. Logan showed up with the big riding high extension 4-seam in the upper 90s. He didn't have anything else.
Okay.
George had the 4-seam that he commanded better than anybody on the planet. Secondaries were okay. Bryce had the big 4-seam. He had that magical month where nobody touched his fastball.
Yeah.
He didn't have much else. And then they figured out that like they have the one carrying tool that gets them there. And then, like I said, I thought big leaguers were finished products. And our guys show that they're constantly evolving and developing and adding and subtracting and sharpening.
When you bring in a guy like Saucedo, Trent Thornton in the bullpen, Seawald, I mean, there's the list goes on.
Spire, Snyder.
Yeah, all those guys. Steckenrider back in the day when he had that success. I mean, I can, Topa, Justin Topa, another example. There's a bunch. But they come
It's
in.
a fun game.
Oh, yeah, no, I can go all day. But they come in and it's like all of a sudden it's like, hold on a minute. You look up there, you go on Baseball Reference, a quick little search, you're like, dude, you had a 6 last year. And they're like, oh, well, we came in, we sat down, we prioritized this pitch in this location. Talk us through that meeting. When does that happen? How does that happen? What does it look like?
The meeting is about how can we help you simplify. There's 8,000 things going through your head on a daily basis, and there's 50,000 going through your head when you're stepping on the mound during a game. Like, how can we help you simplify it? For some guys, they come in with 6 pitches. They think they're this Swiss Army knife. It's like, no, you're really good at throwing your 4-seam. It's unique. It's uphill.
Yeah.
Let's target the upper half with it. Let's get really freaking good at that.
Yeah.
Because without it, you're gonna continue being who you've been.
Right.
And your sweeper is really freaking good.
Like you watch guys come in to spring training with the Mariners, you're like, oh, okay, there's something there. They've had that conversation. There's probably just a different level of confidence because as a player,
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That meeting is to help them find their confidence.
Right.
They've been kicked around. They've been beaten, and maybe not to the extent that they think they have. But as pitchers and players, we think that we remember that 3-run homer.
Right.
We don't remember the 21 scoreless innings. So they've been beaten and scarred, and that meeting is to help them realize how freaking good they are. They have something, whether that's a pitch, a couple pitches, a location, a skill set that can work at the big league levels. We just need to get them to believe in that more than we do.
I'm with the president, Don Riling. You do this every year. You team up, with a certain charity. This time it's for Alliance for Education. Tell us more about it.
We focus on a charity that's tied to military, first responders, or public school teachers. So this year we chose Alliance for Education. They do terrific work with the Seattle public school system. During the month of April, we donate a portion of every hot tub, swim, spa, and sauna that we sell and give it to the charity.
See life better with perfect, clear, natural vision from King LASIK.
Being a former professional athlete, I still love staying active. From paddleboarding, snowboarding, even playing with the kids, everything was such a hassle dealing with glasses and contacts. I'm so grateful to Dr. King and King LASIK. It's amazing how much better I see life.
I'm Dr. Joseph King. Let's free your eyes from the hassle of glasses and dirty contacts.
Schedule your free consult at kinglasik.com. King LASIK. See life better.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Bobby, who was hurt riding the bus.
The bus made a left turn, and the scooter that I was on overturned. I ended up having surgery on my back. So I knocked on the door of Warrior Injury Law, and I thought if anyone could help me with my situation, they could, and they did. They everyday people who work for everyday people. I would recommend this company over all the rest.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
Welcome back to the Top Step, proudly brought to you by Warrior Injury Law. If you're injured, call my man Rob Edens at 253-WARRIOR. Battle tested. Now, I'm not going to make you do bold predictions because I don't think... First of all, I tried to ask Logan, what's next, man? I mean, All-Star, obviously Cy Young.
Gold glove.
Oh, okay.
Who cares about Cy Young?
Logan's shooting for a gold glove.
Win a gold glove.
How hard is that for a pitcher?
You throw 100 and you're 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
You should win a Cy Young.
Right.
But you shouldn't win a gold glove.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. He should. Okay, Logan Gilbert, that's the prediction from his pitching coach. Win a gold. If he wins a gold glove, that's it. Statue out the front here, Hall of Fame. Because that means he's doing everything.
We'll never hear
right.
the end of it.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. I talked about you intervening during a warm-up session. For each player, we'll start with Logan Gilbert.
Okay.
It's 2025, All-Star last year, dominating. It's a really good pitching staff. But what would you tell Logan Gilbert to get him to another level, or to get him right before a start?
To get him right before a start. Last 5%.
Last 5%.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Something that it's probably the thing I say most to Logan. It's something that he talked about in 21. Everybody wants to throw the pitch. They want to throw it harder. They want to throw it nastier. They want it to be better, and they do it too early. They're starting to throw back here. They're starting to throw before their foot lands. They're anxious. All the normal feelings and emotions and mistakes that we make. Logan's at his best when he's throwing the last 5% of the pitch, the finish. You 1,000 ways to say the same thing, but that's something that we talk about constantly and would help him get ready.
I'm going to steal that when he's pitching, by the way, when I'm doing games. All right, now what about Luis Castillo? What are you telling him? What's that one thing?
Titolo.
What does that mean?
Oh, the same thing. It means finish through it.
Right.
Yeah, throw through the catcher. Don't throw to the glove.
Gotcha.
Throw through it. Throw 70 feet, not 60.
What about Bryce Miller?
Oof.
Was there a time he took
Coke can?
What?
Coke can.
Coke can. All right.
A visual that helped him was pretending there's a Coke can sitting on top of the catcher's head, and that's what he's trying to hit with his four seam.
Yeah, old school. I love it.
Yeah,
I love that. Now, what about Brian Wu? What do you got for him?
Commit.
Okay.
Just commit to that pitch, whatever it is, whatever the count.
So that's if he's going a little deeper, like third best pitch, getting away from that fastball, third at bat. It's about like that conviction in that pitch.
Man, commit to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Trust it. Commit.
All right, last one. Emerson Hancock. What do you got for him?
Be Emerson.
What does that mean?
We have a lot of talent and a lot of unique. All the guys you just named are completely different human beings that throw from completely different slots with completely different arsenals. And we as people and players can try to compare ourselves to others and try to be like others. Emerson's at his best when he's Emerson, and he knows who that is. I think that was a huge development for him last year. It's tough. You get to the big leagues and you've been dreaming about this your whole life, and you're not 100% sold that you belong there. There's always that little bit of doubt and hesitation.
Right.
That's Shohei Ohtani. That's Mike Trout. I'm supposed to be here with those guys. Emerson figured that out last year and started to truly believe I am a big leaguer and I can be really freaking good. The more he's Emerson, the better he is.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see him. Again, I don't want to see Georgia, but I love it when guys get that little window and what they do with it. You know, it's huge. All right. Now, we've had a pretty intense conversation. I've kept you for too long, but we do have to finish with How to Speak Australian. This is brought to you by the Kangaroo and Kiwi. You can go to @thetopstep TV and play along. All right. How to Speak Australian. Here we go. So, this is going to be a multiple choice. Okay?
Okay.
The sport is cricket. Do you know anything about cricket? Now I did this
Not
with
a
Logan.
lot.
I did this with Logan. It's kind of easy. It was easy, but I think he still messed it up. I'm trying to remember if you got it right. You can go back and check and you can play along. All right.
I'm
wiki.
more of a highlight guy.
What?
I'm more of a highlight guy than cricket, but yeah, go on.
Listen, if I'm playing wiki in cricket, what does that mean? Is a wiki a bowler? A. B, is it like similar to a catcher? Or C, is it playing in the outfield?
The wiki's the bowler.
Incorrect. The wiki is the wicket keeper, which would be the catcher.
The wicked keeper.
Yeah, the wicket keeper. I could have given you wicket keeper. I didn't want to make it easy.
I got it.
Giving it away.
Cal Raleigh wiki.
Cal Raleigh's playing wiki on opening day.
wiki.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cal Raleigh's going to be playing wiki in the All-Star game. How's that sound?
The wicked keeper.
Well, I've got to figure out the spelling too, by the way. But you can play along at the Top Step TV. Pete didn't get it. Follow us at the Top Step TV. Big thanks to Kangaroo and Kiwi. Pete, it's been awesome, man. Thank you.
It's been fun. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Good luck this year.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.